You guys have these Gatorade Zeros? Gatorade Zeros are bomb. I can slam like 5 of them. They're incredible. It's like drinking water. 0 calories. Ooh. Pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. No sugar, no nothing. You just feel healthy. Feel like TB12. What is going on? They call me Johnny Loan Shark. You want to get a loan? Upstart.com/ham. Get a little cash. I had to make a little cash withdrawal today. A couple things in the fire. Need a little money? Upstart.com/ham. Get you a low rate. Doesn't affect your credit. How do you beat it? I don't know. I don't think you do. A lot going on today. I mean, Daryl Morey is falling apart. He can't out-leak himself right now. Usually he's king leaker, and memos, the stories. I mean, Daryl thrives when he leaks, but now it's out of his control because there's so much shit going on. Even the media, and he's the media's GM, basically just said no. We've had enough. And Sham was just crushing him. Said Daryl's begging people to take Chris Paul's contract. And every single person responds, nah, we're good. Nah, we're good. Again, I actually don't. Well, I do judge CP3. He has hundreds of millions of dollars. He could have easily signed a lower rate. Let's say 4 years, $120 million, giving them some flexibility. But he's a money-hungry Carmelo disciple. Has to have every penny. But the guy with the most blood on his hands for this debacle is the culture maker and the contract signer. I mean, he's the guy that did all this, is Daryl Morey. Daryl Morey created this mess. I said it yesterday. Listen, there are a million wink, nod deals that when pen goes to paper, this capitalism. Sometimes people just tell you to get fucked or just tell you no. What I told you is not good anymore. We've never lived in a society that's less loyal, mainly because there's never been more money on the line. Now, you could argue it's all relative, and I do think that's a character flaw a little bit of American society, as my generation is not as loyal as like my parents' generation. But I also think that less and less people get fucked. So I think that Daryl Morey, he wouldn't have been in the wrong if he would have looked at Chris and said, listen, Chris, you're a $25 million player. At most 30, but I can't pay you $40 million a year. One, you're just not worth it. I'm not paying for what you have done because, one, you haven't done really anything for me. And two, it doesn't pencil. And I get you're the Players Association president. I don't give a shit. I'm trying to run a team. But I signed you the contract. I leak it out to all my media friends. They all give me a media BJ. It was a terrible deal. There's no way around it. It's one of the worst deals signed probably in recent memory in all of sports. Not just basketball, not football, not baseball. Think how many awful deals are signed in football. It's why I'm always pro non-guaranteed money, because it leaves you flexible. You're never stuck with a player. The fans benefit. Sports exist because of the fans. We all watch. That generates them money. It's actually never generated them more money. Going to games now is not a big moneymaker. I mean, it's a moneymaker, but it's nowhere near what the price of your eyeballs, the price of your attention. That's what I'm looking for here. Get your attention. Attention is where all the money is now. And it's where, I think the NBA players really struggle with it. They detest the fans. Like, you got to look at it like Jeff Bezos. He's a consumer-first organization in Amazon. The players look at the fans like they're just a bunch of idiots. Guys, they're paying for everything. Even if they're not handing you the cash, all the money, literally every penny comes from the fans. And now a lot of it's just from their eyeballs, just from them watching. They watch, and we saw this year the ratings were in the tank. But that's where all the cash comes from, is the fans. That's why the NFL makes so much money. The fans, just their time. Time is very valuable. And the NBA players, besides Klay Thompson, who's very good at it, really the Warriors are good at it. The old school players were always really good at it because they understood it turns people off. It turns the consumer off. You can't, consumers just naturally, we have a war on wealth going on right now. So when you make 20, 30, 40 million and you treat the fucking people that are giving you the money like shit, it's not a good long-term plan. And I think that's one of the biggest issues Adam Silver needs to solve. They've become the elite league. There's a bunch of elitists. They just become, it's like a country club. of super rich. I mean, all these guys, Harrison Barnes just turned down $25 million. Turned down $25 million. That's insane. Derek Carr and Jimmy Garoppolo won't make that much money next year. He's like a fifth best player on a decent team. That's crazy. But I got no problem with it. It's capitalism. They got this thing going, but you got to treat the fans better. And it's why there was an article yesterday about Kevin Arnovitz about why the draft should be abolished. What the fuck are you talking about? Do you understand in the NBA and the NFL, the draft creates fan interest? Again, do you understand why the players get all this money? Is because of fan interest, fans being locked in. The draft in the NBA and the draft in the NFL is enormous for the cash flow. And again, this whole thing exists for the cash. You think if 10 people watched instead of 10 million, ESPN would have handed the NBA however much money they handed them? You think the Warriors, if they weren't doing tens on the fucking on TV ratings and just everyone watching and them being the biggest team in the league, would have got an enormous deal from Roquan? Do you understand why all these people are signing up to do business? Is because of people. And those people are the fans. And I think the articles like that are an embarrassment. Like, how do people in the media, I never understand the media that resents the fans. Do you understand us in the media? We're dependent on people watching, people consuming. That's where a lot of people in the media, especially the ones that still work in newspapers, they think you're just automatically going to read your shit. The game's changed. That's why newspapers died. You can't just deliver, just because you write a newspaper doesn't mean shit anymore. I don't even own a newspaper. I don't even read a newspaper. We don't consume information. You have to be good. And if you're good, people will come. And that's why the NBA thrives. Because they have the best athletes, and they do, in the world. I mean, there's not, like, people are like, oh, the NFL. No, the NFL doesn't sniff the athletes in the NBA because these humans are like, have you ever walked by Klay Thompson? He's fucking bigger than every player in the NFL besides, like, 5. I mean, he's enormous. And to be able to move like that is just freakish. I mean, he's 6'7", 230 pounds, and moves like, a 6 foot guy. It's stupid. They're the best athletes in the world. And I love the NBA, but I think they have a problem right now. They've lost touch with their consumer. They've lost touch with just the common guy. And the media is so out of touch because they go to these games for free. Go on SeatGeek, promo code HAM, you get $10 off, and realize how much it costs to go to these games. When I was growing up, I probably went to a total of 5 NBA games throughout my entire life up until I graduated high school. 5 NBA games. And I had a basketball team 20 minutes away at Arco Arena in Sacramento Kings, and they sucked. The first time I ever went to an NFL game was when I worked in the goddamn NFL. Never been to an NFL game in my entire life. People normally don't get to go to these games. They're really expensive. Like, most people don't go. You're an outlier if you attend these games. It's a big deal to a lot of people because it's so expensive. And when your players, and again, this war on money, which we're currently is defining society, is we resent the rich people. So we're not going to resent the NBA players that make $30 million and are super unhappy and treat people poorly? No, that's not the way it works. That's why the ratings are in the tank. It's pretty easy. Just add it up. 2 + 2 = 4. Like, it's not that complicated. It really isn't. Now, LeBron being shitty this year on a bad team 100% hurts. But you can't be a league that's just dependent on the Warriors and LeBron because there are fucking 28 other teams. And if that's the case, every game that they're not in, the ratings are going to be in the tank. And the shitty part is the league's pretty stacked. I mean, the league has a lot of good teams. Klay's lower body's huge. His lower body's built like a defensive tackle. His thighs are enormous. Yeah, I checked out his ass. I naturally do. It's scouted me. Like, you go to the Giants, let's go to Giants games, go on the field before the game. Their players are pretty small. I mean, they had a couple big guys. Like, Hunter Pence was big. Madison was big. Buster Posey's not very big. Joe Panic, he's 6'1", but he's not very big. Brandon Crawford's not very big. Brandon Belt's tall, but he's linear. He's skinny. Steph Curry is a midget for NBA terms. He's 6'3". Klay's massive. You want to get your CBD on? EaseWellness.com. Go get your CBD. Tell your friends. Delivers all over America. I just found out this morning. Hemp-based. Hemp-based, not THC-based. Hemp-based. They can deliver it anywhere. EaseWellness.com. Promo code HAM. EaseWellness.com. Promo code HAM. $20 off. Or $50 free delivery. I taking my CBD night drops, sleep like a baby. Taking my CBD uppers, mind firing. Look at this mind. Woo, just firing on all cylinders. Yeah, I mean, I would talk Major League Baseball if more people cared. I watch baseball, even though it's starting to bore me a little bit, and maybe like I'm more of a product of society, but I think I represent what a lot of my listeners represent. They're not really watching baseball. You know, baseball, especially with the Giants sucking, like baseball is very regionalized. There are 3 or 4 teams in baseball that can win. The masses, I've seen the numbers. Like you can just Google it. Like a random Sunday night baseball game gets 1 million people. The U.S. Open did like 8 million people. People are just not watching Major League Baseball. I think baseball is in major trouble. I think basketball has issues, but at least people are talking about it. Baseball's out of sight, out of mind. Everyone's like, oh, they're making a ton of money. Yeah, a lot of GE used to crush it. You know, back when like the late 90s. Jack Welch was like, he is the shit. You couldn't even use Jack Welch now. See ya, out of sight, out of mind. This is fucking Bezos, Zuckerberg. They run the show. It's like, you got to adapt. And I think baseball like slowly dips their toes. Football and basketball are always just trying to adapt, always trying to be new. And it works. Now, football has some things working for them. They only play once a week. Every game matters. College football is really big. It works perfectly to our society. Basketball, their games don't as much, but the drama does. We love the drama. And that's not even like millennials or anything. My mom used to get People magazine. Like, people are just enamored with drama. And basically basketball has become the Us Weekly of sports, which, you know, is cool. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like it too. It can wear me out at times, but it's keeping the sport afloat because no one's watching the games. I wouldn't go that far with hockey. I think baseball is just kind of boring for a lot of people. I still like it, but you play 162 games. Like, I got life, and I talk about sports for a living, but I can't watch your game every night. It's just mainly because I know the consumer's not. If the consumer was locked in, I'd be fucking locked in. I just watch and talk about what you like. If you like it, I'll watch it. Now, one thing that I force in a little bit is golf, but I also think that I can be a good conduit because gambling, mybookie.ag, promo code HAM1, is fun with golf. And I know, obviously, MyBookie has been a very lucrative partnership. I've seen all you guys use it. Gamble on football. Well, gambling on baseball sucks. Gambling on basketball is impossible because it's a corrupt sport. I can never trust the referees. I've lost way too much. Golf is just fucking exhilarating. I'm telling you, start betting on the majors. Now, I dabble this weekend. You know, Travelers, Connecticut, kept complaining it. I agree. Baseball should play like 3 times a week, 100%. Have two starter pitchers, an ace and a 2, and then they just rotate. I like that idea. But the old school baseball, no, they got to play every day. Well, fine, no one will watch. You see the A's games, they get 5,000 people to show up. It's not working. You know, it's not working. I don't know what baseball does. The nature of the sport is just slow. And slow in 2019 is dead. It really is. You notice society in the history of America, I'm better with my American history than I am world history, but it's only got faster every generation. You can say it's unhealthy or whatever, but it only gets faster. It only gets faster. We used to have this thing called Cliff Notes. I remember when I was in like junior high and high school, you get Cliff Notes. Well, now, 15 years later, why would I get Cliff Notes? I'll just fucking buy the audio book. I'll listen to it at 1.5 speed. I'll take some notes. I'll be done in 2 hours. Boom, bada bing, bada boom. You know, in 10 more years, there'll be something else that's even more efficient. Isn't that what we're looking for? Efficiency? I watch baseball. There's no efficiency. People are just picking their ass. They're wiping their fucking... It's like, hurry up. Get in the box. Take a swing. Throw a fucking pitch. I used to wear the shit out of Cliff Notes. Love Cliff Notes. I agree, soccer's fun. Now, soccer's not fun for us, at least for our guys. Our girls are good. But we need to get better at soccer. Our guys need to be good. If our guys get good, it'll matter in this country. I don't have an answer for that. I think one problem for soccer in this country, like in football, we score touchdowns. And there's, even in high school football, especially now with the spread offenses, you score a lot of points. In basketball, you score like every possession. right? So if you're a good player, you're scoring a lot or involved in scoring. In soccer, it's the most amount of work because you're fucking running up and down the field, and it's running is hard. It's basically like track where there's only like 1 or 2 goals a game. So you're like, I'm doing all this, and I don't even get to score that much. That's where I think it hurts, because in our culture, we're about winning. We're about points. We're about numbers. We're about who has the most money, who can throw the most touchdowns, who can hit the most home runs. Well, even if you lead the league in goals, you don't score that many goals. We're a number-based society, and usually bigger numbers are better, right? $1 million is better than $700,000. Hitting 50 home runs is better than 30. Throwing for 45 touchdowns is better than 32. You know, in soccer, even if you score a lot of goals, what do you score, like 15 in a season? We like action. And that's the one thing that I think hurts. Like, our best athletes, I'll take this to the day I die. And these fucking soccer fanatics can argue with me all we want. If soccer was the #1 thing in our country, we would kick the shit out of every other country. We just would. We would be better. If Odell Beckham, if Steph Curry, if LeBron James, if all these guys started playing soccer from the moment they were 5 years old, it would not be a contest. Yeah, am I arrogant about this country? Fuck yeah. Because everything we've ever put our mind to, whether it was World War II, we saved the world. Whether it was basketball, we kicked the shit out of everyone. Whether it was baseball, it used to matter more and we dominated. NFL football, obviously no one plays. You know, whether it's making money, we make a lot of money. The problem is half our country likes to tax, and, you know, it's changed our business, but, like, we win. You know, just, it's a fact. When we care, like when it's our #1 priority, we win. And it's basically never not happened when it's our #1 priority. Top 3 players in the league right now would be Trout, Bellinger, and Yelich. Bellinger's pretty good. Trout's the best player, but Trout signed a $330 million contract, which I don't blame him. I'm a capitalist, love money too. He already made $150 million, and he plays on a terrible team. Now, he does get to live in L.A., so it doesn't suck that much, but no one ever gets to watch him play. Alonso's hitting bombs. I don't know. I think it's hard for a lot of these teams because of a player, like for the Warriors. Could they trade Draymond this offseason? Maybe. But until Kevin Durant tells them my men are out, you can't do anything. Orange County, you know what I mean. Southern California. Same shit. I don't actually, where does Mike Trout actually live, though? Calabasas? Does he live in Newport Beach? I don't know where his actual house is. Again, easewellness.com. Tell your friends about CBD. Easewellness.com. Promo code HAM. Easewellness.com. Promo code HAM. $20 off your first purchase. Over $50 free delivery. Harper never hit more than 100 RBIs in a season. Baseball people tell you RBIs are random, but he played on great teams, so I don't know. I haven't been in Newport Beach in a long time, but it doesn't suck. I think Harper's the most overrated player. Let's really quick before we sign off, get a little geeky baseball. I don't even know what Bryce Harper's numbers are. Now, they are in first place. So Bryce Harper right now, so fucking hard to find some goddamn stats. He's hitting .245 with 12 home runs. You know, how's his batting average so shitty? I don't get that one. The Braves are in first place. How do you hit .245? Machado's definitely better. But no one ever said that Machado wasn't better. It was just Machado's a pain in the ass. I guess batting average doesn't mean that much, but a great player should still be able to hit around 300. Maybe you shouldn't hit 350 anymore because you're swinging for the fences a little more. But 245, I don't give a shit what year it is. Batting 245 is bad when you're a $30 million a year player. You should be hitting 300. How do you do that? I don't get it. I mean, you can't hit 300. You don't always need to hit home runs. Hit some doubles. Hit some singles. That's why I say what you want about Buster Posey. He's now kind of shot. In Buster Posey's peak, he was like a 330 hitter, and he could hit 25 bombs. Like, I need to drive the ball. I need get hits. We don't always need walks. Harper's going to get 100 RBIs this year, though. But first year of the deal, 30 home runs and 100 RBIs is not very good. The pitching has gotten better. I would agree. Harper has never been a top 5 player. I mean, he won the MVP. He was pretty good. He has. I think that's harsh. He's been a top 5 player. I remember when the Giants played them in the playoffs. He was the best player in the series. I mean, he hit one out to like Oakland. It was the longest home run I've ever seen live. It was a moonshot of Hunter Strickland. I can still see it flying. It was just like it was still going up when it got over the bricks. It was an incredible bomb. He was good. He is good. He just I don't know if he has no plate discipline. I don't know. I don't watch him enough. I wish I could do something at 30% rate and be called elite. That's part of baseball, though. You fail a lot. I don't think the A's ever get a new ballpark. If I was the A's, I'd leave. I don't think there's a market here for the A's. People say I'm being harsh. You can't get 5,000 people at your game. I don't think it's meant to be. I saw Barry put a bomb at the vet. I saw Barry hit a bomb when I was a kid. I went to Dusty Baker baseball camp, and we got to go to a Giants game. And we sat in the outfield. What year was that? Like 95 or 96. And he hit a home run that we were in. Where would we be sitting? Right field. He hit one way over our heads. It was awesome. I can see the A's going to Vegas. I can see the A's going to Vegas or Portland. That's where I'd go. The thing is, the Raiders will probably not want them to come to Vegas. So I would say I think Portland makes a lot of sense. Yankees crushed the Rays. We got a lot of baseball talk going. Slow times. Okay, I'm out. Going golfing. Peace. EaseWellness.com. Promo code HAM. You need a loan? Call me Johnny Loan Shark. Upstart.com/ham. Upstart.com/ham. Cash. Very low rate. Check my rate. It was like 8%. Can't beat it. Sacramento's not a bad idea either. Sacramento A's, I like that. EaseWellness.com. Promo code HAM. EaseWellness.com. Promo code HAM. Peace. Godspeed. See ya.